Real Madrid trying to keep possession in the very early stages of this game. Down the line it goes, and chance to get the cross in for Real Madrid. An overhead kick. Oh, that should have been one. Well, that was 1 minute 11 seconds, and well, they were nearly masters of their own destiny there, their own downfall. What a ball in it was from Alvaro Carreras in the left-back position. He's gone steaming down the line, and he's pulled it back. And Paris Saint-Germain defender, in fact, it was, I think it was Højbjerg. Yeah, it was Højbjerg. He's gone to cushion it, and he's cushioned it straight back to Mbappe. He said, oh, thank you very much. Back to goal, scissor kick, but it went across the face, and it dropped a foot or so wide. No early goal here, but there is an early goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs 1, Villarreal 0 inside the opening 4 minutes of that game. Here come Real Madrid, not giving up the ghost of an early goal just yet. Arda Güler plays in that little number 10 role, menacing midfielder, Turkish international. Played out wide by Alexander-Arnold. Squeeze through the gap from Valverde. Finding the feet of Mastroianni, who goes down. Own goal from Luis Junior has given Spurs the lead in the first goal of the day. So, a ball inside, which has been cut out by Carreras, but not properly. Højbjerg trying to snap on it. Carreras dropping inside to protect his two central defenders. It's away to Trent Alexander in the right back position. He just chips it down the line, and he's pulled up there as Alexander-Arnold on the right hand side, which is a real concern for Real Madrid. He's just pulled up and holding his hamstring as he just chipped it forward with his right foot, and it was his left hamstring that he's held, and the referee's coming across just to check on Alexander-Arnold, who's gone down on the ground, but holding his hamstring. You're kind of drawing a conclusion that this is a problem. And less than 3 minutes gone when he played that ball down the line. And well, that is disappointing to say the least. He's just held his hamstring just as he's chipped it down the line. He held it before he chipped it, but he felt it go. And well, if that's a hamstring, you're looking at probably looking at a month out, depending on the grade. But this is not looking good for Trent Alexander-Arnold. If you pull up with a hamstring, just with no one near you, you know you've got a problem. Well, whilst that hamstring is being looked at, the ultras all in white, every single one of them behind that goal. I don't think they'll let you in that section unless you've got a white shirt on. Whilst they're bouncing up and down, let me tell you about an early goal elsewhere apart from Tottenham Hotspur, and it's at Benfica. They've taken the lead against Karabag thanks to a goal from Enzo Barrenechea. The South American has put his side ahead. Kylian Mbappe with a spectacular overhead kick was inches away from giving Real Madrid an early lead inside 1 minute 11 seconds. At the moment, it is 0-0. All the pressure coming from Real Madrid, and Carvajal is coming on. There was no way that Alexander-Arnold was ever going to carry on, and his evening is over. Well, a bit of disappointment to him because he's in a race to get fit for a game a little bit further down the line against Liverpool away from home. A return to Anfield on the cards. Will he be fit for that? We'll wait and see. Anyway, here come Real Madrid again. Mastroianni into the box, tries to shovel it past the goalkeeper. It bobbles over the goalkeeper, but he can't find a way to find Mbappe, and it's cleared away eventually by Valverde. But it was all a bit of a mess back there for Marseille, who are holding on grimly at the moment with 5.5 minutes gone. Benfica and Tottenham have got their early goals. Real Madrid really have had a couple of opportunities to do likewise. Big news here is that Trent Alexander-Arnold has joined the likes of Endrick and Antonio Rudiger on the treatment table. Rudiger's not kicked a ball yet this season. Hendrick currently sidelined as well with a longer-term injury. Can't see Trent Alexander-Arnold playing any part this side of the October international break. He probably missed that for England as well. Knocked off the ball Mbappe, but the referee deems that to be a foul by Facundo Medina. Well, they've got to try and keep it tight here. He hit the post, in fact, that effort, by the way, from Mastroianni. He clipped it past the goalkeeper. It's just hit the outside base of the post and come back out again. He felt it was a penalty, and do you know what? Could have had a case. Nothing was given. Still 0-0 here, with the roof closed at the Bernabéu. Højbjerg going to try and do something for themselves here, and they might just do that with Emerson careering forward into the penalty area, trying to turn Aubameyang. Wouldn't stick to it. It was taken off of him pretty easily by Carvalho. Carvalho taking the captain's armband as he made his way onto the field off of Valverde. Arda Güler's won a free kick. He was tripped up, and free kick to Real Madrid inside their own half. So already we've seen Franco Mastantuono hit the post. That's the closest, along with an overhead kick from Kylian Mbappe very early on that very nearly opened the scoring. They've had two good chances here, Real Madrid, but it is still 0-0. 0-0 in all three Carabao Cup games in England. Højbjerg. It's a great ball out wide. Off he goes again. Alvaro Carreras loves to get forward into the penalty area. Rodrigo, saved by the goalkeeper, hits the defender Facundo Medina and goes straight back into the arms of the goalkeeper. Well, Xabi Alonso's side have been purring in the opening minutes of this game, but they haven't found a breakthrough yet. They've been sluggish at times in the opening weeks of the Spanish season. But what they are is they are winning games, and they've won all four of their league games so far. They're 2 points ahead of Barcelona. That's right, Real Madrid, Barcelona, top two. There's a surprise. It'll probably stay like that for the rest of the season now. Tchouaméni rolled forward by Valverde. It's a good turn by Rodrigo, but he was slightly outnumbered whilst off balance, and it's cleared away. No time or space to think for Geronimo Rulli. Argentine goalkeeper. It's out to the left-hand side, and Emerson. Emerson, born in Brazil, but an Italian international. Played it down the line to Timothée Weah. Weah tackled by Carvalho, who's a no-nonsense, roll your sleeves up kind of defender, isn't he? And he's the number one choice in that right-back position. So when he gets chances, Trent Alexander-Arnold, he wants to take them, and he's been served a blow tonight. But here comes Rodrigo into the penalty area, and it was more of a back pass than the shot by Rodrigo. He'll be disappointed beyond anyone else in the Bernabéu with that, because it was a driving run to the edge of the box. It all opened up for him, and he decided to use his right foot instep to slide it towards goal, but it really had no pace at all. If you're just joining us, 0-0 between Real Madrid and Marseille. We've seen Mastantuono hit the post. Here's Rodrigo. Here is Kylian Mbappe. That's a good save from Geronimo Rulli. Come out really quickly and made himself big, the big experienced Argentine goalkeeper. And he couldn't find a way to convert the ball past the goalkeeper. Great play by Rodrigo. Great turn by Mbappe to get away from Medina. But that's good goalkeeping by Rulli. Quickly out. Makes a good, strong save with his right forearm corner to Real Madrid, which is taken by Arda Güler over on the right-hand side, the Turkish international. Swings it in, a slight out swinger towards goal. It came off of Dean Huysen. And Dean Huysen unable to slot home his first goal for Real Madrid. It was a comfortable save from Rulli. Three big chances in the opening 10 minutes for Real Madrid, but still it's 0-0 here. Tottenham leading 1-0 against Villarreal. An own goal. Benfica 1-0 up on Karabakh earlier on today. Arsenal 2-0 winners in Spain here against Bilbao up north in the Basque region. Paris Saint-Germain, I'll start again. PSV, not PSG. PSV, Eindhoven, in Netherlands, 1. Union Saint-Gilloise, 3. Big shock, that one. Belgian champions, winners away from home. Ball into the channel, just too far ahead of Timothée Weah, and out for a throw-in, right down by the corner flag in the defensive position for Danny Carvajal and Real Madrid. Arda Güler, chased, knocked over by Kondogbia. It's a bit mismatch when it comes to sizing up that battle. Güler against Kondogbia. He's a big lad, Kondogbia. Here come Real Madrid. It's with Kylian Mbappe, tried to dribble his way over the halfway line, run into traffic. Kondogbia. And then back into the feet of Emerson. Emerson, summer signing from West Ham United. Valverde, the Argentine. Boca Juniors back in the side today. 5 changes. There is Emerson down the line to Timothée Weah. Weah can't keep the ball, but it just dropped back to Emerson, who leaves it for Medina. Emerson again, scooping it back to Medina. Medina up in the air. He's got good distance on it as well. Howson with the header back in. It's a bit of head tennis. Ends up on the left with Carreras. Good run from Carreras into the penalty area, left by Mbappe. Might just come here towards the left foot of Mastantuono. And he tried to curl one. Well, he's described as the wonder kid of Argentina. He hit the post with tasted a little bit of skill early on. Mbappe has seen an overhead kick just slither wide, and he's been denied by a good save by Rulli. Whilst they're not hitting the target, Benfica are. Maybe they're the surprise packages here, Benfica. They're 2-0 up now on Karabakh. That's in Portugal. Here come Marseille. Long ball down the line to Timothée Weah. Chance to take on Carvalho into the penalty area. Weah with a curler. It was inches over. Well, that was a super bit of play on the left from the USA international Timothée Weah, coming inside. And he's shown a clean pair of heels to Carvalho, who could do nothing to keep him out. He's curled it over the top of the reaching up right hand of Courtois and over the crossbar. Very close to a Marseille opener against the run of play. Vangelis Pavlidis has scored the second goal for Benfica. 2-0 up on Karabakh. Tottenham 1-0 up. Here come Real Madrid. Rodrigo pulls it back. Shot towards goal from Güler. Well, he was in the right place. He was there at the right time. The shot wasn't quite connected properly. It just seemed to be knocked into the ground, and that took the pace off of it. Well, there was no lack of pace in the shot at the other end a minute or so earlier from Timothée Weah. First real chance of the game for Le Phocéen. 8 attempts from Real Madrid already, 2 from Marseille. This is an open game. 10 attempts on goal in 15 minutes. You want entertainment in the Champions League? My gum, you've got it tonight in abundance. They've shot the roof as well, so it's not going to rain. Güler. He's called the Turkish Messi, isn't he, Arda Güler? I'd seen little bits of him last year. He wasn't really getting much of a run. You could tell he was frustrated, him and Hendrik. Hendrik probably more so, but he's bided his time, and he's part of the equation this time. And also part of the equation is Mbappe, but he couldn't find space for the shot. It was a good block in the end from Valverde to get the ball away. It remains 0-0. 15 and a half minutes gone. Well, they're lucky to still be 0-0 Marseille. It could have been 1-0 up. Timothée Weah's curling effort over the crossbar by inches. Still 0-0 in all 3 games in the EFL Cup tonight. The Carabao Cup, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Grimsby 0, Brentford Villa 0-0. All Premier League tie, that one. And Crystal Palace 0, Millwall 0 in the London Derby. Smashed down the middle by Rulli. Carvajal got Weir rather than ball, but referee says play on. Courtois come a long way out. Would have been a little bit naughty, that challenge there from Carvalho. If you are late in joining us, Trent Alexander-Arnold limping off with a hamstring injury in the opening stages of this game. Well, Timothée Weir is still on the floor rolling around. And he was wiped out by Carvalho. I didn't have the cleanest of views, but for me it looked like a naughty one. He's gone shoving into him and he's gone shoulder to shoulder, and just he's clever in the way he does that, Carvalho, because he gets his forearm in underneath the arm and into the rib cage. That's painful. He knew exactly what he was doing, Danny Carvajal. 33-year-old has been around the block a few times. He knows his stuff. He's played at the highest level. He's won the highest accolades. Thought he had the night off tonight before Trent Alexander-Arnold picked up an injury. Arda Güler has also received a little bit of treatment. Well, it's been physical, it's been entertaining, it's been open. I mean, Marseille haven't come here to defend, not with Roberto De Zerbi in the mix. And why would they? Xavi Alonso has made the perfect start to the season with Real Madrid. 4 wins out of 4. Weir is going to come back on now after going on after that ribcage injury. He's okay. Güler to Valverde. Now back to Militao. Militao again. Sliding forward from Valverde. That's good play by Tchouaméni. He's brought down though. Is Arda Güler. Well, he's only just got up with an injury and he's gone back down again with one. It's Congo Bogbia who's rattled into him. Fairly forceful. Wasn't much of a challenge. Just seemed to catch him on the back of the ankle. Clumsy. Now had a chance to have a little look at Franco Masterchiono. Masterchiono. Well, still learning how to say the name and make it roll off your tongue. Here goes Kylian Mbappe. He's been stopped at force. Masterchiono tried to get the return to him. It was blocked off, was Kylian Mbappe, and no one was willing to give a free kick there to Real Madrid. 18.5 minutes gone. It is still 0-0. Real Madrid have done everything but score in this game, but they could have been behind. Timothée Weir's curling effort. Here's Arda Güler. Nice swivel. Played the ball inside. Masterchiono got in the way really there. But Real Madrid has still got the ball. Valverde squeezed forward by Tchouaméni. This is Masterchiono. Can't quite link up with Arda Güler. They've struggled to get it clear of Marseille. Arda Güler again. Corner edge of the penalty area. 3 defenders congregating around him. One of them is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, former Tottenham man. Takes it off of him. It's Højbjerg again. Got to try and win those battles in midfield. Down goes Aubameyang. There's the number 97 for Marseille. Former Barcelona man. He's got a good record against Real Madrid. Played 7. And he scored 7. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad at all. So he's been here and scored before. Obviously in the days before the Bernabéu was given a lick of paint and a spruce up and a new roof as well, which is closed tonight. It just adds to the atmosphere. It really is buzzing, this place tonight. Well, I watched Marseille at the weekend and they beat Lorient 4-0 and they didn't really have to break sweat. Lorient had a player sent off early on in the game. Here comes a shot from Mbappe, this time from the angle. He was fed in by Valverde's long ball, but it was a speculative effort. He had a snap to it. To be on his toes, Geronimo Rulli, but made the save nonetheless. Not too many goals tonight. Benfica 2, Karabakh 0, Tottenham 1, Villarreal 0. That's all we've got for you at the moment. Not had a goal here yet. It's now Marseille's turn to try and go in search of one. Højbjerg. Across to Pavard. Pavard French World Cup winner in 2018. He's got that iconic volley, didn't he, against Argentina back in France. Scored on his debut at the weekend in the 4-0 victory I just mentioned against Lorient. Lorient were never going to give them much resistance anyway, and having one sent off early on 4-0 was par for the course. Mason Greenwood was scintillating. I don't think I've called his name in the opening 21 minutes. He's not been scintillating tonight, but here he is on the ball now. Early ball forward. It's an interesting ball. Rattles it over the top, bending in towards the penalty area. Carvalho flying back to cut things out. Well, here comes Huyson. Girl up. He's been pinched by Mason. Now Mason Greenwood up towards the edge of the penalty area. Still Mason Greenwood lays it off, and it's a goal for Timothée Weah. Marseille lead in the Bernabéu. Well, he almost scored a couple of minutes ago. This time he makes absolutely no mistake. And it was all made by a mistake on the halfway line from Arda Güler, who held on to it too long. And he gave the ball away, and Mason Greenwood punished him, running at the heart of the Real Madrid defence. Well, Güler really should be doing better. He looks over his shoulder and Greenwood just says thank you very much and pinches it off of him. Toe pokes it away. He's got one defender to beat. He takes it up to the edge of the penalty area. He holds off Valverde. He puts it into the path of Weah, across his body to a right foot, where he rams it low and hard and past Courtois. And it's Real Madrid 0, it's Marseille 1, and Marseille score their first competitive away goal of the season, having already lost this season not once away from home, but twice. They lost to Lyon with a very late goal just before the international break, and they lost on the opening day against Nantes. So it's not been happy away days so far for Marseille. They were actually really good away from home last year. It was their home form that's let them down, but they've won both their home games comfortably. They've been beaten in both their away games without scoring. 2-1-0 away defeats, but they've scored away here against the run of play, and Real Madrid might suddenly now be kicking themselves for not taking one of those early chances. Still a long way to go in this game. Geronimo Rulli has the ball, from a Real Sociedad player, so he's played in Spain before. He won the Europa League with Villarreal in 2020-2021. He's familiar with these surrounds. He's familiar with Real Madrid. Away victories for Arsenal, Union Saint-Gilloise in the early kickoffs today, and Marseille winning here. But here's Güler, Arda Güler. Now, was Kylian Mbappe brought down? Well, he didn't appeal. The referee wasn't interested in giving it. Rulli, under a little bit of pressure from Arda Güler, plays it coolly out wide to Emerson. Medina, Emerson again. Striding forward is Facundo Medina, the Argentine, on loan from Lens with an option to buy. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, the Tottenham. Oh boy, played to Rulli. He almost left the ball behind him there, and that would have been a tap-in for Kylian Mbappe had he done so. He just scoops it away in the nick of time, and he's had a couple of nervous moments back there with the ball at his feet as Rulli. He was left out in the week. He nearly tripped over himself. Just lost his balance, but then managed to clear it. Got away with one there, did Rulli. He was left out of the weekend. They opted to go with the Dutch goalkeeper, Jeffrey de Lange. 6 attempts from Real Madrid have been on target. 1 from Marseille. But look at the scoreline. Real Madrid 0, Marseille 1. It's all about taking your chances. This man could do damage. Mason Greenwood cuts inside. Has a look up. Hits the feet of Weah. Weah drives towards goal. It's a good save by Courtois. And then the header back was a really good header from Carvalho. Brilliant defending. Excellent save. It was a good hit as well from Timothée Weah. That could have easily been 2. Could have easily been 2. Well, that would have been interesting. It is still 1, and here come Real Madrid into the box. Rodrigo's been quiet, put behind by Baglieri. Corner kick to Real Madrid. I'll tell you what, these two teams haven't come here for a 0-0, have they? Roberto De Zerbi has set his side up and said, let's give it a go. Let's go and give it a go. And give it a go they have. And they lead here by a goal to 0. They are fortunate to be leading. Corner comes in, headed away by Højbjerg. It was coming down a rate of knots for Mastantuono. So cleared away by Marseille. Mastantuono has looked quite lively on the right hand side. And it's Real Madrid's turn to do the attacking. Over on the left hand side this time with Rodrigo. Rodrigo takes it in his step, corner edge of the penalty area, 3 defenders in front of him, he comes in, that's a penalty. Every day of the week it was clumsy from Jeffrey Kondogbia. He just stood in the way of Rodrigo, who was skipping and dancing and weaving his way inside for a shot. He was upended. VAR will have a look. I can't see them turning this one over. Ball has gone. Well, the only way they'll get out of this one is if Rodrigo went over without any contact, but there was a knee to knee. He stuck his leg out, he missed the ball, and he got knee to knee, and because there's contact it has to be a penalty. VAR won't turn this over. Penalty to Real Madrid and a chance of an equaliser, and Kylian Mbappe, who has mixed fortunes from the penalty spot, is hopeful of doing some damage here. Is it going to be Kylian Mbappe though? I'm not sure it is. Yes, it is going to be Kylian Mbappe. The two of them standing over. Karabakh have just got a goal back in Portugal against Benfica. Benfica 2, Karabakh 1. Geronimo Rulli is told by the Bosnian referee Irfan Pelcho to stay on the line, licking his lips. Deep breath. Real Madrid's 28 minutes gone. They're trailing at home. It's Mbappe. They trail no longer. Geronimo Rulli, the goalkeeper, guessed the right way, but the penalty was one of quality. And Kylian Mbappe has finally found the net. And Real Madrid, well, they deserve the goal. They don't deserve to be behind. And finally, they've taken one of their chances, and it's one you expect them to take from the spot. Well, Rulli wasn't far away from getting a hand to that, but it just about crept past him and into the corner. Struck with enough power. It was a good height for the goalkeeper, but it had enough spin on it to take it through just in time. Right into the corner. Good penalty in the end from Mbappe. I've seen better penalties saved. You can call a bad penalty a good penalty if it goes in, can't you? You can call a good penalty a bad penalty if it's missed. That tends to be the way we do it, isn't it? Anyway, we'll call that a good penalty because it went in. Kylian Mbappe, 1-1. Well, we haven't paused for breath here, really, have we? It's been a really good game. Welcome back, Champions League. Don't we just love it? Timothée Weah giving the visitors Marseille lead after a good piece of work from Mason Greenwood, who's been otherwise very quiet today. But they've not come here to draw. They've come here to try and go toe-to-toe with Real Madrid. They're to succeed over the 90 minutes. I think they've got to defend slightly better, and they've got to be more convincing going forward, a little bit sharper, create more chances. But they have created one or two. They've scored one. Here's Rodrigo, nudges it back. Little 1-2. Arda Güler whips his way into the box. It's going all the way. Well, that would have been quite some goal from Franco Mastantuono. Well, it was a lovely run. He went past one, went past two, turned past a third, nearly got it past Rulli. I tell you what, he looks a promising young player, this Franco Mastantuono. He's already on the radar for Argentina. Don't be surprised to see him at the World Cup next summer with little runs like that. Oh, can't wait. He looks good. Just seen a shot from Rodrigo slip past the post as well. Sorry, I missed it because I was so busy admiring the replay on the screen alongside me here of Mastantuono. Rodrigo's curled it a couple of yards wide, in fairness, but Mastantuono, lovely skills right down the middle. He looks something else. Anyway, here come Marseille. Timothée Weah, who's looked dangerous, nearly scored, then he did score. He's got some help here from Emerson. Weir again, had a spell at PSG in France, then went off to Celtic, went back to France with Lille, then he went to Italy for Juventus on loan. Had an obligation to buy. They bought him. Now Juventus have shipped him out to Marseille on loan with, would you believe it, an obligation to buy. It's the new word, isn't it? New buzzword in football, obligation to buy. Mason Greenwood is out on the right-hand side. Has to change his direction to come and retrieve the ball from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg's past. It is with Pavard. Now it's Kondogbia. Kondogbia into the penalty area off of Aubameyang. Kondogbia gets it wide. This is Weir. And then whipped in by Emerson. Deep delivery. Might come here for Kondogbia. He wants a penalty. He's claiming the ball hit the hand, and there's 3 or 4 Marseille players that go with the referee and say, come on, that was a handball. In the meantime, VAR might have a look at that, but it's Real Madrid that are breaking down the other end. It is end-to-end stuff. It is Rodrigo. He goes inside. Arda Güler helps it along. This is Mastantuono on the right-hand side. He's got 2 to tease past. He's put it through the legs of the defender. He's got the cross in, and it's turned away just about by Bagliardi. And then they'll start again with Rodrigo, Güler, Rodrigo, Mbappe. Rodrigo again, corner edge of the penalty area. He's got the overlap if he wants it from Carreras. Didn't see him. He's gone the opposite way. Tchouameni. He's going to have a go here. Tchouameni! Oh, he doesn't score many goals. But he hit that one with an Exocet missile about it. Good save from Rulli. Frenchman nearly scoring against a team from his own country. French international, former Monaco player Aurélien Tchouameni. Well, he's hit that brilliantly. It's going to nestle in the top corner had it not been for the right hand of Geronimo Rulli. What a good hit. At the other end, it struck Militao's arm, but it was tucked into his body. I don't think you can give that, but there was a big appeal. Militao got away with it there. In comes the corner, and Rulli is out to the edge of his 6-yard box to gather it, and he's then wrestled to the ground once he's got the ball in his hands, which he's not too happy about. Right, it's 1-1 here. Quite frankly, if it was 3-2 to Real Madrid, you would probably say, you know what, that's about right. Because it's been a really open and entertaining game. We can't knock it. We wanted to be entertained tonight, and entertained we have. We've seen 3 goals going early on in the first half at Benfica against Karabakh. Benfica leading that one 2-1. We're next in queue with 2 here. 1 apiece between Real Madrid and Marseille. And I doubt there's a more easy on the eye game tonight taking place in the Champions League than this one. It's been a really good game, and Marseille are given as good as they've got, and they've won themselves a free kick here, and it's going to be a free kick and a yellow card for Tchouameni. Well, he's good for a yellow card normally, the former Monaco man. And that's the first yellow of the night. And it comes because he's just wiped out Højbjerg. Late trip. Yellow card, mandatory. Free kick, mandatory. I think you've got to take your hats off to the way that Marseille have approached this game, because I was rather fearful to come here and shut up shop, but they've done anything but. They've tried to attack Real Madrid. They have caused them problems. Courtois is on his toes at the moment, 2 yards off of his line, knowing that this Mason Greenwood free kick could be dangerous. Mason Greenwood scores plenty of goals for Marseille, but he also chips in with more than his fair share of assists. Set plays are his forte. At the weekend, he was the man of the match. He set up 2, he scored 1 from the penalty spot, floats this one in. It's cleared as far as Højbjerg. He gets it out wide, but the header from Matt O'Reilly doesn't go anywhere. Then the cross comes in, and it's gone behind for a corner. We haven't seen much of Matt O'Reilly in that number 10 role. And he is a dangerous player. Just seeing another glimpse of this smashing young 18-year-old Franco Mastantuono. He is the second youngest Argentine player ever to play in the Champions League. The youngest, I mentioned it before the game, the youngest, you'll be surprised, at 17 and something, is Lionel Messi for Barcelona. Don't ever know what happened to him. Went off the radar, didn't he? Here comes a corner from Marseille. It was a good delivery, actually. Do you know what? That was a good corner from Emerson. It had whip on it. And it was headed away really well by Carvalho. Kylian Mbappe's penalty, cancelling out Timothée Weah's opener. It was an error from Ardu Güler, which allowed Mason Greenwood to take the ball off of him, run up to the edge of the penalty area and tee up Weah for the opening goal. Real Madrid has struck back with a penalty. Clumsy challenge from Kondogbia on Rodrigo. And Kylian Mbappe dispatched the penalty. 37 minutes gone. It's flown past this half. You can always tell a game when it's flown past. It means you've enjoyed it. 54% Real Madrid possession, 172 passes, 131 passes from Marseille. They've certainly played their part in this game. They haven't come here to make up the numbers, certainly not. Been really impressed with the way that they've applied themselves. Roberto De Zerbi's side is a work in progress. There's plenty of new signings, and that's a shot from distance, and that wasn't a bad hit, that, from Matt O'Reilly. I was just saying he hasn't really got into the game there, but he certainly got on the end of that little move. Timothée Weah playing it inside. He's found room for the shot, and he's hit it from 25 yards left of centre, and it's over the top of the crossbar. He hits it sweet enough. It wasn't a million miles away. It didn't cause any problems for Courtois. At the other end, it's Rodrigo into the penalty area. Still Rodrigo, 3 to beat. Gets to the byline. That's good defending. Excellent defending by Benjamin Pavard. 20-year-old French World Cup winner. Shows us how it's done against one of the better wingers in the world. And free kick. Kondogbia has been tripped up. Earlier on today, Arsenal 2-0 winners here in Spain against Athletic Club Bilbao. Martinelli and Trossard with the goals. Kondogbia giving the ball away to Mastantuono. Emerson back to Medina. Back in turn to his captain Baglieri. Baglieri inside to goalkeeper Geronimo Rulli. Two Argentines in the centre of the defence, and an Argentine goalkeeper. There's an Argentine looking at it. It's Aubameyang. He's put it wide at the other end. It was a long ball forward by Rulli, and it eluded everyone, and he had his chance there. 7 goals in 7 appearances against Real Madrid, and there was nearly an assist for Rulli. He's put it straight over the top. It's poor defending from Militao, and Aubameyang's tried to open up his body and slip it between the near post and the goalkeeper, and he's put it just wide into the side netting. Well, it's the first we've seen of Aubameyang. And maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I think he might have scored that. Not quite got the pace he used to have. Still a useful player, of course. So's this guy, Mbappe, into Güler. Güler, lovely control. Back to Mbappe again. Tchouaméni has a look up, right-hand side. Here he is again, Mastantuono. Great tackle, though, from Emerson. Great battles going out there on the pitch at the moment. That's a foul by Mastantuono on Emerson. Free kick given. Just shy of 5 minutes of the first half remaining. Well, this is quite a week, isn't it? Because they've divided the fixtures up for match day 1 over 3 nights. So we've got some great games coming up for you tomorrow night. We've got some great games coming up for you on Thursday night as well. Bayern Munich, Chelsea, probably the pick of the bunch tomorrow. Here is a chance for Real Madrid, and it's Kylian Mbappe on the turn. It was a poor piece of play by Kondogbia because he gave it away so cheaply on the edge of his penalty area, and it went straight to Kylian Mbappe. On the turn, it was beaten away by Rulli, who's been a very busy man in the goal. Man City, Napoli, of course. Kevin De Bruyne going back to the place where Manchester City fans will welcome it with open arms, I'm sure. Well, what a game that's going to be. There's some cracking games on match day 1, aren't there? In the League Cup, there were 3 games 0-0. right on the stroke of half-time. I can tell you Aston Villa in the EFL Cup have taken the lead away at Brentford. They've scored their first competitive goal of the season, Aston Villa. And they will kick off the Europa League campaign next week, Aston Villa, with a home game at Villa Park against the Italian side Bologna. We've made a sluggish start in Serie A. Harvey Elliott has got that goal at the G-Tech. Well, you don't want to take your eyes off of this because chances keep springing up whilst I'm trying to keep eyes on elsewhere. But here's Erdegula. Holds it up backwards from Militao. Both sides have been susceptible. They've got an error in them at the back, that's for sure. Can't believe there's only 2 goals in this game. 3-2, 4-3 maybe even. 4-2, 4-3. That kind of scoreline would have been probably a fair reflection on what we've seen in this half. Militao has gone in, he's been fouled. The referee stopped the play at least. It looks as if the free kick has gone the way of Real Madrid. Bagliardi is questioning the referee's decision. Bagliardi just seemed to put his hands out on Rodrigo, and Rodrigo went down at the other end. It was a mix-up between Militao and Aubameyang, and both players took a tumble. In the end, a drop ball, not a free kick. Pavard back to Medina, and then Højbjerg back across from Bagliardi. Pavard back to his goalkeeper, shifts it onto the right foot, does Rulli. Launched up towards the halfway line, and here is Benjamin Pavard again. He's got room to look up, and he gives it to Mason Greenwood, and Greenwood can have a go at Carreras here. He goes backwards. It's Kondogbia. Now for Medina. Emerson. Medina out wide to Weir. Good play from Marseille. Been really good so far, Marseille. You've got to say they've come here with a game plan, and it's an ambitious game plan, and it's one that's worked really well for them because they've taken their chance. They had to take the chances when they come along, and Weir struck one just over the crossbar a couple of minutes before he did score. And yes, it was a bit of a gift of a goal. And at the other end, it was a bit of a gift of a penalty. Header back from Carvalhal rather. Carvalhal finding his goalkeeper Courtois. Valverde. Carvalho again. Carvalhal to Huijsen. Huijsen was caught by Aubameyang, and the two exchanging words. Huijsen's got plenty to say to Aubameyang. It was a naughty trip from Aubameyang. In fairness to Aubameyang, he put his hand up and said, "Look, yeah, that was a foul. Sorry, didn't mean it. Wasn't intentional." Well, 30 seconds of the first half remaining, plus injury time. There will be some injury time. We had a couple of stoppages. If you are just joining us, Trent Alexander-Arnold limping off after just a few minutes with a hamstring problem. I wonder if that might put him out of England's October international double-header in the World Cup qualifiers. Miles ahead, aren't they, England? Looks like they're going to be at the World Cup. Just wanting all the big names and all the big countries to be there. It's looking that way at the moment. Question mark maybe over Nigeria. You'd want to see Victor Osimhen there. There'll be a lot of farewells. Kevin De Bruyne, Luka Modric, Messi, Ronaldo. There'll be tears. It's a great football played, I'm sure. Oh, it's a lovely dribble from Mason Greenwood. He's turned his way past 3-4 Real Madrid players there. Silky. He's got history off the field, Mason Greenwood, but you just have to put that to one side and admire that therein lies a very talented young player. At some point, in his life has made wrong choices. There's no question that he's enjoying life with Marseille. He's been given his chance. It's been won back though by Rodrigo. This is Aragula, and he went for goal from distance, and he wasn't very far away from that one, nestling in the top corner. It was just slightly too high and just slightly too wide. So a goal kick. Well, it is 1-1. And I have to say, it's been a very good game. Very good game. Very easy on the eye. 3 minutes of added time. We're exactly halfway through it. Tchouaméni can't quite find Mastantuono. And it's gone back to Rulli in the Marseille goal. Gets it back from Kondogbia. Rulli under a little bit of pressure. Has to play it square to Medina. Medina with a left foot curls it up to Weir. Nice touch from Weir. Højbjerg hits the halfway line. Plays it inside. That's good play from O'Reilly. O'Reilly winning the ball back again for a second time. Kondogbia. Højbjerg. Wide to Greenwood. It will reach Greenwood eventually, and now he can collect it and he can have a run at Carreras. Mason Greenwood cutting inside. Mason Greenwood with a shot. Well, it had power behind it, but it was quite literally straight down the throat of Thibaut Courtois, and that's a comfortable save from the Belgian goalkeeper. He can roll it out, and we've got about 30 seconds of stoppage time remaining. It's Real Madrid 1, Marseille 1. If you are just joining us, it's been a cracking game. It's 1-1. Here is Mbappe, scored from the penalty spot to equalise. Mbappe finds Mastantuono, and he's had his shot saved brilliantly by Rulli. Mastantuono again can't find a way of getting the shot in. Good block by Emerson, but that could have easily been 2-1. Great play by Mbappe. Unselfish play to bring in the 18-year-old Argentine wonder kid. He holds his head in his hands, but he's been brilliant in the first half. Franco Mastantuono has been given a start tonight in the Champions League, and he's lit it up. It's a really glittering first half, and he should have scored there. He had time to perhaps take another touch and slot it past the goalkeeper. He decided to hit it in step of his left, and really got down and made a fabulous save. Well, he's been really good. He's hit the post, and he's shown glimpses of immense talent. Half-time whistle has gone. This one has got lots of plots, lots of subplots, lots of storylines. It's had lots of chances, but just the 2 goals. Timothée Weah shocking the Bernabéu with its roof on. With an opening goal for Marseille, but striking back through a penalty by Kylian Mbappe. Chances at both ends besides those goals. At half-time, it's Real Madrid 1, Marseille 1. We are praying and hoping that Messi's Xabi Alonso and Roberto De Zerbi don't tweak things to make this a less entertaining game in the second half. We will be back for that second half, of course, right after this break.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.
To the Santiago Bernabéu here in the Spanish capital. We're in Madrid tonight. It's Real Madrid 0. It's Real Madrid 1. Marseille 1 at half time. Been quite a great game actually. Full credit to Marseille. They've come here tonight and give it a good go. And it could have been crippling for them. Very early on, Mbappe with an overhead kick just wide. They had some really good chances early on. Master looks very impressive. The 18-year-old Argentine super kid hit the post. And another chance denied by the goalkeeper. Rulli has been very busy for Marseille. Marseille took the lead. Timothée Weah nearly scored. 2 minutes later, did score after good work from Mason Greenwood. But Kylian Mbappe scored from the spot to make it 1-1 after Rodrigo was upended. Tchouameni is just being spoken to by his manager Xabi Alonso down on the touchline as he comes out for the second half. We're ready to go. Referee's out there as well. Irfan Pelcho from Bosnia. First half was great. It was end to end, it was open, it was entertaining. I think at one stage Real Madrid had 5 shots on target to Marseille's 1, but Marseille were leading. And they very nearly sneaked ahead. Unselfish play by Kylian Mbappe. Mastertuono, the youngster, with a shot that was saved. He really should have scored. He wouldn't have really making the save. That was right on half time. It's literally the last of the action. Long ball forward from Marseille, who are in all royal blue tonight. Of course, the all-white of Real Madrid here at the Santiago Bernabéu, where the roof is closed and the atmosphere is electric. Huyson has contrived to get the ball away somewhat cheaply, but it does roll back to Carreras, former Manchester United and Benfica player. There's a yellow card coming out. Started his life in the depths of the youth team here at Real Madrid before moving off, and Benjamin Pavard has just been shown a yellow card. Pavard with a yellow. Scored on his debut at the weekend. Solid header from a Greenwood corner, and the 4-0 thumping of Lorient. So far this one not been quite so memorable. A yellow card. Here come Real Madrid. Mbappe has been fed by the pass of Arda Güler. Mbappe tries to put it out wide to Mastertuono, who gives a cheeky glare at Mbappe, who puts his hand up and says sorry, but it was almost as if to say, come on, it's got to be better than that. Tenacious from the 18-year-old, signed from River Plate. Just wonder, are we going to see a new superstar in the making here? There's that Mastantuono. Was great in the first half, some great bits of skill from him. back with Courtois. It's not been a redundant evening for him by any means. 47 minutes gone. Real Madrid 1, Marseille 1. Wide from Gula. That's lovely play. And this is Rodrigo, and this is Mbappe, but beating him to it. To put it behind was Pavard. It's a corner. Real Madrid on the front foot, attacking the end away from our left, away to our left, and that's the end where the ultras are. You haven't got a white shirt, you're not coming in. It's pretty much full. And Bernabéu tonight in the corner over on the far side. There is a little pocket of empty seats just over the left shoulder of Arda Güler. Drills it in. It's a great ball. Hyson back down again, just too far behind Carvajal, who was in there sniffing. And then good sweeping up from Carreras, because there could have been a breakaway there for Aubameyang and Marseille. Let's quickly run through the two sides. Real Madrid in the second half, kicking from left to right. Courtois in goal. Carvajal on for the injured Trent Alexander-Arnold, who picked up a hamstring injury in the opening 10 minutes or so. So it's Carvajal, Howson, Militao and Carreras, and then Tchouameni, Valverde, Mastiuono, Güler, Rodrigo and Mbappe for Marseille. Rulli in goal. Back four of Pavard, Belliardi the captain, Medina and Emerson, Højbjerg and Kondogbia in midfield, O'Reilly, Greenwood, Weah and Aubameyang. On the bench, Vinicius Junior, Brahim Diaz amongst those in reserve, the two Fran and Gonzalo Garcias, the two Garcias, David Alaba, and of course Jude Bellingham on the bench. He's warming up down below us at the moment, hasn't played so far this season. That shoulder operation after dislocating his shoulder against Rayo Vallecano. Oh my goodness me, there was a pass back there from Medina to his goalkeeper Rulli, and Rulli at times is unruly in possession with the ball at his feet. He's a super shot stopper, but his possession at feet leaves a lot to be desired. It's rolled across to him. Mbappe nearly rolled it into an empty net. He got there just in time, and it's a dipping shot from Mbappe. It took a deflection. I think it was Belliardi that closed him down. It looped up and into the air, and it struck the top of the crossbar. It will be a corner. The goalkeeper was beaten there. Well, he didn't cover himself in glory and given away the corner, Geronimo Rulli. He was lucky. It could have easily been a goal. Twice there. Mbappe. A deflected shot that hits the bar. So they've hit the woodwork twice now, Real Madrid. 1-1. In towards the penalty area. It's Rodrigo. We're just waiting to see. 19 attempts to 8 at goal from Real Madrid. And, that's a lot. That's an indication this game has been very absorbing. Good win in the air from Pavard, beating Mbappe, and then cool as you like from Medina, back to his goalkeeper Rulli. Rulli's great as long as he hasn't got the ball at his feet. It's just a menace to his own team's sanity when he's got the ball at his feet. Nearly 6 minutes gone in the second half. Mason Greenwood has drifted over to the left-hand side, and he's got the ball into the penalty area. It's pulled back by Matt O'Reilly. Doesn't quite link up with Aubameyang. Strolling out from the back is Carreras. Good interception by Kondogbia, steering the ball backwards, but to Belliardi and Medina, who take care of things. Højbjerg. Now Kondogbia. Big old lump in the middle of that midfield, Kondogbia. Clumsy at times, but very experienced. A Central African Republic international. Decided to go up the ghost and trying to get into the French national team many a year ago, despite the fact he's performed for the likes of Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, Valencia and Monaco. Here come the home side, played out wide to Carreras by Rodrigo. Good defending by Belliardi, gets it clear. It will actually be a throw to I think it's gone to I think it might be a foul actually. Carreras has caught Greenwood, but Real Madrid have it back. Carvalho to the feet of Chabalos. Still the game locked at 1-1. Carvalho, great ball in, that's where Rudy is good. And gets down and gets his hands on the ball. Grimsby knocked out Manchester United in the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup. They're leading with 20 minutes to go at Sheffield Wednesday by 1-0 tonight, the League Two side. Another upset on the cards there. Dortmund have taken the lead in Italy against Juve as well. Here's Mbappe picking the ball up 15 yards inside the Marseille half. Quickly wide to Rodrigo, up to the penalty area. Rodrigo. Ardagula. This is Carreras. Rodrigo again. Might be a curling effort from Valverde. Looking up is Tchouameni. Gets it wide. This is Carvalho, and he hits it hard and he hits it low, and down goes Rulli and makes a simple stop in the end. Karim Adeyemi has scored the goal. It's given Dortmund the lead in Italy against Juve. Another great game tonight. Here come Real Madrid, starting to apply the pressure now with Mastantuono, and it might come here to Gula. It nearly came to Mbappe. He goes down in the penalty area. The referee had a really good sighting and says play on. Whistles all around the ground, and here goes Aubameyang trying to get away at the other end, and that's going to be a free kick and a yellow card. And now the protest from the Real Madrid players who felt there was a penalty when Mbappe went down. That's a yellow card for Militao. Now, was it a foul? No, it's a super block from Baglioni. Put his foot in there. He was a millimetre from going over the top and taking the feet away from Mbappe. The fact is, he got the ball first. He's pointing at the ball and he got the ball. He was very, very close to not getting the ball, and it would have been a straight red and a penalty. But Militao gets a yellow card for Real Madrid for the follow-up foul. One out of frustration, I fear. Well, we're 10 minutes into the second half. And Real Madrid were rather hoping that this would be a routine three-pointer. Well, you've got to decide if that challenge there from Baglioni was thorough. But his studs were up slightly, but he got the ball first. He's leaning back. There's no option, really. That's the only way. He was going to block it with his studs up in the air. Mbappe has received some treatment. Certainly felt the full force. His penalty in the first half cancelling out the opener for Timothée Weah. Brentford have equalised against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup. 1-1 in that game at the G-Tech in West London. Marseille have the ball at the back with their captain, Baglioni. Plays it through the midfield. It's well played. Aubameyang with a chance to get forward and he slips it wide. That's a good ball. Timothée Weah plays it back inside. This is Aubameyang pushed away. Only as far as Weah hits it on the volley. Good block by Carvalho. Comes back out to Højbjerg, the corner edge of the penalty area, left-hand side. Doesn't take any chances. Knocks it against Mastantuono and out for a throw-in. That was a chance once again for Marseille. They haven't been without their chances in this game. Aaron Hickey has got the equaliser for Brentford. 1-1 against Aston Villa in the EFL Cup, or the Carabao Cup, depending on what you want to call it. Here it's 1-1. 7 minutes is how long they were ahead in this game. The French side. Juventus have equalised against Borussia Dortmund. Went ahead very long there, the Germans, weren't they? Dogbia winning the battle in midfield against Gula, but Gula does pick up the loose ball and he gets it wide very quickly to Rodrigo into the penalty area, switches it into Mbappe. Gula again. This is Mastucione, gets it wide to Carvalho. Mastucione goes on the outside, trying to get into the penalty area. Solid challenge from Emerson, really good defending, and now they can break away with Weah down the left-hand side. They've put in a really brave performance tonight of Marseille. Could be causing problems here for Real Madrid. Matt O'Reilly holds it up on loan from Brighton and Hove Albion. Mason Greenwood into the feet of Kondogbia. Back again to Mason Greenwood. Haven't seen an awful lot of Mason Greenwood, but what he has done, he's done with good effect. As they work their way along the back line with Baglieri and Medina. Back into Højbjerg in the midfield. Marseille have not been totally outdone in possession, as many would have expected them to have done tonight. Here's a wide ball to Mason Greenwood, who keeps it in play, and he can take on Carreras. Comes inside Mason Greenwood, twisting one way and the other. Still Mason Greenwood goes on the outside. Mason Greenwood crosses, very nearly made it all the way across to Aubameyang, who was ready to pounce, and Howson got it away in the nick of time. That really was a chance, and for every chance that Real Madrid have made in this game, you have to say it's been weighed up well by Marseille creating something. Kenan Yildiz has got the equaliser for Juve, 1-1 against Dortmund. Dortmund are now 2-1 up in that game. They've gone and scored again. So quite a game that one. 0-0 at half time. Mecha has got the goal for Dortmund, back ahead. They were behind, so they were back level, Juventus, for less than a minute in that game. Stopping play at the moment. There's an injury for Leonardo Baglieri. He's got caught late. Benfica 2, Karabakh 2 now. So 2-2. They were 2-0 up there, Benfica. In fact, Karabakh have just gone and added a third. Now, Brahim Diaz is going to come on. Well, we've seen enough tonight of Franco Mastantuoni to know that there's a new star in the offing here. Brahim Diaz will come on and replace him, and he'll add a little bit more experience on that right-hand side. Hasn't scored the Moroccan, Brahim Diaz, this season. Really impressed with what I've seen of Franco Mastantuoni. Brought in from River Plate. What a player. Howson for Real Madrid, but he's given it away straight to Pavard. Now Baglieri's made a complete recovery. Pavard flicks it over the shoulder of Gula from Dogbia. Back out wide to Mason Greenwood. Pavard gets back and knocks it back to his captain, Baglieri. Back inside to Rulli, who doesn't look comfortable when that ball is at his feet. He made that one look a little bit more comfortable. Højbjerg hitting Aubameyang, who holds it up. Kondogbia rolls it wide to the halfway line. Mason Greenwood was blocked off by Carreras. And then Rodrigo. Wonder how long it's going to be before we see perhaps Jude Bellingham, perhaps Vinicius Jr. run into the penalty area. It was from Carreras, but he was stopped in his tracks. Good defending once again. Ball possession in this game. Real Madrid 47%, Marseille 53%, and I think they deserve an awful lot of credit for that stat. Now that's third goal, by the way, for Karabakh has been ruled out for flag, an offside flag. Brahim Diaz is now about to come on. Thought he'd come on, to be honest. He was all there, ready to go, and then the board was up, and then they changed their mind. And I don't know what the hold-up was, because it's still Brahim Diaz that's coming on. Howson, all the way back to goalkeeper Courtois. Now he has been kept busier than expected tonight. Long ball down the middle from Courtois. It's on his lesser right foot, and he Just smashes it straight down the middle from one goalkeeper to the other. It's with Medina at the moment on the edge of the penalty area. We've had a 0-0 tonight. Every game's had its goal. This one's had two, and it could so easily have had more, and it still may. Timothy Ware winning a throw in on the far side, and we're going to see Vinicius Jr. coming on in a minute. He's gone quiet as Rodrigo. Wouldn't be surprised if he comes off. Brahim Diaz as well is coming on. Indeed, it is Brahim Diaz on for Mastutuani and Rodrigo off, and Vinicius Jr. on. Something else to think about for those Marseille defenders. So Arsenal 2-0 winners in Bilbao. PSV 1, Union Saint-Gilloise 3. Shock of the day in match day 1. Benfica were 2-0 up. It's 2-2 now against Karabakh. Juventus have got back again for a second time. Juventus 2, Dortmund 2. That was 0-0 at half time. Here it's 1-1. Tottenham, thanks to an early own goal. It's the first goal of the night. It's only 1-0 in that game. It's stayed that way against Villarreal. Rudy, again, it's nervous moments when he's got that ball at his feet. One back by Tchouaméni. That's a foul on Howson. Referee blows his whistle and gives a free kick to Real Madrid just inside the Marseille half. Real Madrid, a home game at Espanyol this Saturday. Next Tuesday, they've got another league game away to Levante. Then an away trip to Atletico Madrid in the Madrid derby. It's 3 big league games before they go to Kazakhstan to take on Karat on match day 2 in the Champions League. Brahim Diaz losing out though. And one back by Emerson. Played by Medina. Emerson again. It's a great turn by Weir. Did he keep it in play? Yes, he did. Through the middle towards Aubameyang. Quickly out of his penalty area. Courtois to lash the ball clear and out for a throw-in. Marseille host PSG on Sunday in the big one in France. Then they have a tricky one next Friday, a week on Friday, against Strasbourg away before match day 2, and a home game against Ajax, which will be followed up by a trip to newly promoted Metz. That's what's next up for Marseille. In this competition, Real Madrid's 8 games, including this one, are Karat away, Juventus at home, Liverpool away, Olympiacos away, Manchester City at home, Monaco at home, Benfica away. Not an easy set. Run through Marseille's in a minute, but first of all, let's just see if Aubameyang can do anything with this ball down the left-hand side. He's latched onto it. They do have Amin Gouiri on the bench today, the Algerian. He limped off at the weekend in the 4-0 destruction of Lorient, and it didn't look as if he was going to make a comeback anytime soon. Here comes a change. Matt O'Reilly has been relatively quiet tonight. He's coming off. Kondogbia as well. Vermeeren will go into the midfield. And Paxhao is also coming on. He's a left winger. Just to see what happens here. So O'Reilly is off. And Jeffrey Kondogbia as well. 2 like-for-like changes. It's just a case of who will play. Got 3 wingers out there, so which one of them will go central out of Greenwood, Paixão, where? We'll wait and see. Vermeeren is on, Belgian international. Previously with Leipzig. He's actually on loan from Leipzig. Dean Howson for Real Madrid. Coming deep to collect it is Tchouaméni. Howson again, leading the charge up towards the halfway line. Has a look up, does Howson, and plays a high ball out to the right-hand side, onto the chest of Carvajal. Carvajal again. Back inside to Valverde. Valverde pinging a lovely ball out to Vinicius Junior takes it down in his stride. Brilliant control. Vinicius Junior into the penalty area, weaving one way then the other. Then he left the ball behind. And Pavard said thank you very much, just as well, because he was looking ominously dangerous there, was Vinicius Junior. And here he is again. Ball down the line. Pavard's out of position. Vinicius Junior knocks it. Coming across to get the all-important challenge in was Baladi. And it's gone behind for a corner. Midway through the second half. Real Madrid 1, Marseille 1. A point here for Marseille would be a terrific result on match day 1. Whipped in towards an near post and helped Tottenham over the crossbar. How did he keep that one out, Emerson? Carvalho was there and ready to pounce. And that is great defending. Almost underneath his own crossbar. Corner to Real Madrid. Dortmund 3-2 up away at Juventus. Drab 0-0 at half-time that was. Well, been quite some second half. This one's still 1-1. It's been very entertaining. Scoreline perhaps doesn't reflect fairly on a game that perhaps deserves more goals. The corner is being delayed here because Girona, really the goalkeeper, has gone down holding his face, and that's sparked some confrontation in amongst the ranks. It was Carvalho who went to... Oh, he's aimed a headbutt there at the goalkeeper. Little though it was, Carvalho has aimed a headbutt. Whether there was a connection or not, I don't know, but Rudy's gone down. And if VAR have a look at this, the intent of Carvalho, you would think, could well be enough to get him red carded. And it's been a nightmare night for right backs for Real Madrid if that was the case, because they've lost Trent Alexander-Arnold tonight through injury, and Carvalho, well, he may not have made contact. The fact is, you've aimed a head at him. And I think he knows it, Carvalho. Well, the way that Ruli's gone down and stayed down, and he's got the medics on, suggests that there was contact. I'm not sure there was, though. I've only had one look at it so far. We'll get another look in a minute. Hopefully. There is a potential red card check from VAR. It has been confirmed. Carvalho is treading and skating on mighty thin ice in Madrid here, and I think he knows that he could well go here. He knows he's lost. His face tells it all. He knows that VAR have got their eyes on this situation, and he knows he's going to be a very lucky man to survive this red card check. He stands there all over Rulli, waiting for him to get up. I'm sure he's going to say, look, you've not done me any favours there tonight, have you, mate? I don't think there was an awful lot of contact. And the referee listens in his earpiece. He's going to go and have a look. And you do fear that Dani Carvajal is about to be red carded here. And it won't be the first time in his career. There's a nasty streak to Carvajal. It's part of his makeup. He wouldn't be the player he is. But, well, they've got a still here at the moment. Oh yeah, he's gone in there with a little bit of intent. Oh yeah, he's got to go for that. There's no way he cannot be sent off. There is a headbutt, a blatant headbutt. I've already put a red card against his name. This would be a catastrophe amongst all VAR catastrophes, and this one's not a red. Surprised the VAR and the referee have not drawn a conclusion sooner. But he's coming away now, the Bosnian referee Irfan Palcic. He blows his whistle, he signals, he reaches for his top pocket, out comes the red, and Dani Carvalho has been sent off for Real Madrid, and they will have to play the last 19 minutes with 10 men. Well, he can't complain. He really can't complain. You cannot do that. An experienced player like Carvalho has got to keep his cool. And he's been pulled over. Arm around Carvalho from the referee, who explains his situation. The referee's just gone over to the monitor and says, look, mate, you've headbutted him. End of. I think Carvalho knows it deep down. You saw his face, and I think he knew what was coming. So Danny Carvalho on as a substitute in the first half early on for the injured Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's now sent off, so they could have a problem in the future match days. You can't feign to headbutt someone like that. He's clearly made contact, and he's put some force into that headbutt as well. It wasn't a little feign. That was genuine, and he's got what he deserves there, Carvalho, and he's off. So a red card. Carvalho sent off. Real Madrid down to 10 men. I just wonder if the master tactician that is Roberto De Zerbi might just throw caution to the wind here. Arda Güler has gone off as they retweak, and Asensio will come on in the right back position just to keep it tight. In comes the corner. It's an outswinger. Headed towards goal from Howson. Lands on the top of the net, and it will be a goal kick. Crystal Palace in the London derby have taken the lead in the EFL Cup against Millwall. That one's been goalless for pretty much the majority, but the FA Cup winners are showing good form in the domestic competitions again this evening. Ahead with 15 minutes to go in the London derby at Selhurst Park. Goal coming from Chris Richards, the USA international. Unlikely match winner. Well, here, Danny Carvalho sent off for Real Madrid, who are looking like they might be dropping points on home soil on match day one. Well, they've got to be right up there amongst the favourite 5 or 6 in this competition. Can they get near to PSG? Can they get near to the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal and Manchester City? Well, they've got to have the best players on the pitch, and it's not been helped tonight. They've got a little bit of a crisis in the right back position. Their third choice right back at the moment, Asensio, is having to shuffle back and keep Timothée Weah at bay. George Weah's son, on loan from Juventus. Weah into the penalty area. Lovely touch towards Mason Greenwood by Aubameyang, and he was just a little bit slow on the uptake there, was Mason Greenwood, but that was a chance. If only he could have latched onto it. I think the flag has gone up. No shortage of goals tonight in the Champions League. 18 goals so far across 6 matches. That's not bad, is it? That's 3 goals a game. Tottenham letting us down, only 1-0 up. Højbjerg is going to receive a yellow card for Marseille. I don't think it is Højbjerg, in fact. I think it's Medina. It is Medina. For a little bit of grappling. Can Marseille make the most of this one-man advantage? Here come Real Madrid. Down the right-hand side. Brahim Diaz holds it up. Gets the cross in. Kylian Mbappe went for the spectacular from the edge of the box. Didn't make a proper connection. It went flying high up in the air. Straight down into the arms of goalkeeper Geronimo Rulli. And from the penalty spot to cancel out the opening goal from Timothée Weah, which was 7 minutes earlier. Here is Weah, now on the right-hand side. Looks like Mason Greenwood has gone central. This is Vinicius Junior, tries to slip it through the gap, but just too many defenders in sight. Juventus 2, Dortmund 3, sounds like a great game, and they've got a penalty there of Dortmund. Last weekend, Juventus are 3-0 down, scored 2 late goals to win 4-3 against Inter. They score goals and they concede goals. They're easy on the eye, Juve. 7 goals in their game at the weekend. If they convert that penalty, Dortmund, there'll be 6 goals in that game. Timothée Weah is going to come off and Emengueri is coming on. It's a double change. Emerson is off as well. The player coming on is Amir Murillo, the Panama international. 29-year-old right back. High ball up towards the edge of the penalty area. It's a good touch from Vinicius Junior. Gets to the byline. Can he get the cross in? Teasing his way into the penalty area. Slots it back. Can't quite find Carreras. Cleared away. Good defending by Vermeeren. It's great to have the Champions League back, and it's not disappointed us tonight. Amazingly, this game has only got 2 goals. Got a red card as well. It could so easily, you know, if it was 3-3, I don't think we could moan, because it's been that type of game. Catalogue of chances at both ends, and last time we saw the possession stats, Marseille had slightly more than Real Madrid of possession. But here's Vinicius Junior for Real Madrid, in towards the penalty area, cuts inside, smashes it, really pushes it away. It was straight at the goalkeeper from Vinicius Junior, who has scored 2 goals in Serie A. Scored those 2 goals at the weekend in victory. One of those 2 goals at the weekend anyway. Here's Carreras. Out wide again to Vinny Junior. Man, and here's a chance for Vinicius Junior. That's a tremendous tackle by Facundo Medina. What a great challenge. And I think he's given a penalty for handball against Medina here, you know. Yeah, he has. They can't believe it, Marseille, but Medina's gone in. It's a wonderful challenge to take the ball off of Vinicius Junior, but he slid in, and as he slid in, according to the referee, he's handled the ball. He's tried to get his hand away from it. Now, did he touch the ball? He's tried ever so hard. This is going to be one for VAR. This might take a while. Oh, this is subjective. Well, it seems to brush the forearm. And it looks like they might have a second penalty in this game, Real Madrid. And if they do snap up 3 points, won't be from the want of trying from Marseille's point of view. They deserve more. Now it's a penalty, but VAR are going to have a look at it. The fact is, it did touch his hand, and they can't really find any evidence to persuade the referee to overturn it. And it's looking as if it's going to go ahead without much more of a check. Well, Geronimo really has made some great saves tonight. Dortmund have just scored from the penalty spot. They lead in Italy against Juve 4-2. And it's Real Madrid and Kylian Mbappe. This for the chance, with 10 minutes to go, to potentially wrap up 3 points for the 10 men of Real Madrid. It's Kylian Mbappe. Same penalty. Same corner, goalkeeper went the same way again and couldn't quite keep it out. Kylian Mbappe has found that same corner twice from the penalty spot. It's Real Madrid 2, Marseille 1. But my goodness me, that is rough on Facundo Medina, who made a world-class tackle. And then the ball just bobbles up, hits him on the forearm. And it's just so unlucky. Well, what a tackle it was to keep out Vinicius Junior, and it bobbles up and hits you on the hand. Fickle fate of football. Well, Benfica were 2-0 up against Karabakh. They're 3-2 down now. Here, Madrid are a goal up, but a man down. What a night. Champions League is back. Kylian Mbappe's got his 2 goals, both from the penalty spot. 8 minutes to go. And we're ready for the restart. Now, they've brought on a defender for a midfielder. They're going to try and sit on this, I would imagine, Real Madrid. Now they've got that second goal. Well, they were very fortunate, really. I mean, yes, it's a penalty, but very fortunate, because Medina's tackle was an excellent one. It's just bobbled up and hit him on the hand in the aftermath, and you feel for him. It's just pure bad luck and nothing else. Not misjudgment. His hand was somewhere where he couldn't avoid it being. Can't say it was in an unnatural position, and that might be his argument. Well, it's a kick in the teeth to Marseille, that's for sure. 14 attempts on goal from Real Madrid, 4 from Marseille. They've come here tonight with a game plan, and they've taken it to Real Madrid, and they've given them a real good game. They've had lots of possession as well. And here they come, looking for a way through. Amin Guiri can't quite find a way into the penalty area. It's flicked up in the air by Pavard. Second ball won by Bagliardi. Mason Greenwood inside to Vermeeren. Vermeeren goes square to Højbjerg. He's had a very good game in that midfield. Wide to the far side, and Amir Murillo cutting inside. Højbjerg again. Vermeeren looking to get this ball out to the right hand side. It's a great ball in from Pavard, headed away in the nick of time by the substitute Asensio, and out for a throw in on the far side. Real Madrid leading here by 2-1, but have had Dani Carvajal sent off a straight red for a headbutt on the goalkeeper Geronimo Rulli. Absolute heads gone moment for the Real Madrid captain. Here's Mason Greenwood, played inside by Pavard. You can't help but feel that Marseille deserve something from this game, just for the way in which they've come here tonight and given Real Madrid a run for their money. They've had a huge slice of luck, Real Madrid. 2 penalties. There's Pavard, wide to Mason Greenwood. What can he conjure up from the right hand side? Whips one in, dangerous cross. Huysen gets it away, only as far as Højbjerg. Højbjerg chips it in. Here's Mason Greenwood again, pulls it back. Might be a chance here. It's a poor first touch from Pavard. Well, he's got to either hit it or hook it, but in the end he tried to control it, by which time he was closed down by 2 white shirts. Real Madrid leading here by 2-1 as Huysen gets the ball away. It's a header by Medina. Mbappe reverses it to the left hand side. Brahim Diaz plays it down the line. Mbappe again, cutting inside. It could be 3. Beaten away by the goalkeeper, Rulli. It was a shot by Brahim Diaz. Rulli's done well to keep another shot out. Well, they've had their shots tonight of Real Madrid. You can't say that Marseille haven't created their own. Here's Peixau. Played out wide to the left-hand side, and Murillo. This is Guiri. Guiri into the penalty area. He's not blessed with pace, but he's managed to find Vermeeren. Højbjerg wide to Mason Greenwood. Can he cut inside? He can. Can he shoot? He can. Great save by Courtois. That's where he is so dangerous, if he can cut inside. Mason Greenwood. So many of his goals in French League 1 this season and last coming from that situation. We're into the last 5 minutes here, and that was a good chance for Marseille to make it 2-2. And you can't say they don't deserve it. 5 goals at Benfica, 6 goals in the game at Juventus. 4 goals in the game at PSV earlier on. Just a 3 here and a red card. The only red card of the night on match day 1 in the Champions League. Carvajal sent off for headbutting the goalkeeper. The Real Madrid captain letting his side down. Here's Murillo to Højbjerg. And sitting back here at the moment are Real Madrid as a natural reaction. And it's allowing on Marseille. Vermeeren gets it wide. This is Peixau. Peixau's gone to the left-hand side. Amin Guiri will go down the middle with Aubameyang now, and they're going to go for it. 4-2-4. Good ball out wide from Guiri. This is Peixau. Comes back inside. Højbjerg. And again Højbjerg goes for the return. Comes out to Peixau, and he snatched at it and he fired it high over the crossbar. Peixau the Brazilian. Previously a championship winner in the Netherlands for Feyenoord in the Eredivisie. And he fires that one agonisingly over. Well, you've got to give credit tonight to both goalkeepers because they've both made a succession of saves. On Saturday night, Juventus came back to beat Inter Milan by 4-3. That's the scoreline again at Juventus tonight. It's Pavard on a yellow card goes off, and CJ Egan-Riley, formerly of Burnley and Manchester City, is on. It's Juventus 3, Dortmund 4. What a game that is. That was 0-0 at half-time, by the way. Here come Marseille again, looking to get themselves forward. It's been edged out by Vermeer into this near side. Vlahovic has scored in the 94th minute. Can they come back to 4-4, Juve? Well, here come Marseille. It's going to be a corner. Brahim Diaz back there doing some defending to deny Peixel. Corner kick. So a corner to Marseille with 2 minutes plus injury time remaining. There will be some injury time. Certainly the VAR check for the red card took a couple of minutes, didn't it? Amongst other things. So here comes the corner from Mason Greenwood. Interesting delivery. Fired towards goal. And he didn't make a clean connection, Mason Greenwood. I thought Mason Greenwood was taking the corner. It was actually Pacho. And it was Mason Greenwood on the far post, but he's lashed at that and he's sliced it wide. And that was a good chance because Greenwood was largely unchallenged. Roberto De Zerbi out there screaming orders to his team, but he'll be very proud of the way that his team have come here tonight and conducted themselves. They've put in a really good show. They'll get another test on Sunday when they host Paris Saint-Germain at the Velodrome. Courtois to take this goal kick. A minute to go into the 90th minute. One by Tchouaméni. Brahim Diaz trying to take on Murillo. Murillo trying to stick to him like glue. Brahim Diaz has done really well. Gets the return. There's Federico Valverde. Gets to the byline, Valverde. Across to block him was Murillo. Corner kick. 91st minute in the game at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 1, Millwall 1. What about this? Juventus scored in the 94th minute. They scored in the 96th minute. Juventus 4, Dortmund 4. 0-0 at half-time, that one. Wow, what a game. This hasn't been bad either. That kind of scoreline would probably do more justice than 2-1 to Real Madrid. You could argue Real Madrid have had so many shots. And I think Marseille's game plan has worked very well tonight. 7 minutes of added time. There's plenty of time for the 11 men of Marseille to get back, but at the moment it's a corner. Whipped in towards the penalty area. Højbjerg gets it away. Aubameyang can't quite find Paxio. Wins the aerial duel. Guerri stopped in his tracks, and now Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni had his pocket picked by Højbjerg. And then running out of play on the far side there is Valverde. And that will be a throw-in to Marseille. Been quite some night, hasn't it? The Champions League is back, and it's back with a bang. The goal, by the way, Lloyd Kelly, former Bournemouth man. He scored at the weekend against Inter to give them the lead. First goal in that game was scored by him. He gave them the lead. Tonight he scored in the very last minute of injury time. 4-4. Couldn't make it up, could you? They are checking for VAR, by the way, that goal, so it might yet get chalked off. Højbjerg skipping down the line is Vlahovic. Peixel gets to the byline. Can he get the cross in? Well, he can't, but he wins a corner. Well, Brentford against Villa and Crystal Palace against Millwall are both heading to penalties in the Carabao Cup tonight. So throw into Marseille. Sorry, it's a corner to Marseille, I beg your pardon. And Emin Guiri is going to take it. The Algerian whips it in, headed on, and it comes to Mason Greenwood, and he got underneath it. Just got there in time ahead of Carreras, but he was underneath it and he blazed it over the top. And it has finished Juventus 4, Dortmund 4. That goal does stand. What a game that is. It has finished Benfica 2, Karabakh 3. Great result for Karabakh, 2-0 down, and Mason Greenwood really should be doing better there. Xabi Alonso knows his team have been in a game tonight. He's out there at the edge of his technical area trying to realign his defensive structure for the last 5 minutes or so of stoppage time. There is still plenty of time to be played here. Real Madrid 2, Marseille 1. If you are just joining us, 2 penalties from Kylian Mbappe to cancel out the opening goal from Timothée Weah. They've had chances in this game, Real Madrid, but my goodness me, it's been a good performance from Marseille. They've had as much of the ball as Real Madrid and created the chances and caused problems. 2 goalkeepers tonight have made some really good saves. Ruli's been a disaster with the ball at his feet, but he's been exceptionally good with his saving. Here's chalk and cheese, the goalkeeper. Asensio's just had his ankle trodden on by Emin Guiri. And I just wonder if VAR have a look at that one for intent. Was that deliberate from Guiri? I wonder. Well, they went up in the air. Guiri headed it against Asensio. And Asensio went down as if he'd been hit by a boulder, but it was the ball. And then as he landed, he went down and Guiri stood on his ankle. He's okay though, Asensio. He's back on his feet. Don't know if there's any intent, and I don't think VAR can come up with the answer to that question in good time, so it's play on. Here is Guiri again, good header to find fellow substitute for Miran. He shifts it across the line to the defender Medina, who gave away the second penalty. A brilliant challenge it was from Medina on Vinicius Junior. And just as he slid in, the ball popped up and hit him on the forearm, and the penalty was given. This after Dani Carvajal sent off for a headbutt on goalkeeper Geronimo Rulli. Head's gone moment for Carvajal. What was he thinking? Absolute lunacy from him. Here come Marseille again. Murillo. Forward from the captain, Boyardi. Out wide to Mason Greenwood. Chance to cut inside, but it's a very crowded back line. Real Madrid have got everyone back. Even Kylian Mbappe's back there helping out. Wide by Højbjerg. Might be a chance here for Peixal to get it onto the right foot and whip it in. It's a good ball as well. It's glanced away. Good header by Militao. And that will be a corner. They're really giving it a go here. They've got 2 more minutes of stoppage time, Marseille, to conjure something up. You can't argue that they probably deserve it. Ball comes in, header towards goal for Balyerdi. Got behind it, but he got slightly underneath it as well. It flies over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick, and I'll be mighty relieved to see that one fly over the crossbar, Real Madrid. Have they been great tonight? No. They've had chances. I'll tell you who did impress me before he went off is the 18-year-old Argentine wonder kid Franco Mastantuono. Looked very good in the first half. Second youngest Argentine to play in the Champions League after Lionel Messi. He's only just 18. He looks the part. He looks a real prospect. Great dribbler. Should have scored just on half-time. Shot straight at the goalkeeper with just the goalkeeper to beat. Just about to move into the last of the 7 minutes of added time. Real Madrid are going to get away with one here. They really are. Vinicius Junior on as a sub, but hasn't done much apart from win the penalty, but then it wasn't him, it was a handball. Mason Greenwood flicks it against Carreras, and now they need to get everything forward. The last chance saloon is upon us. Xabi Alonso standing outside his technical area, the 4th official telling him to get back in. He's not taking any notice, Xabi Alonso. That's a foul on Mason Greenwood. They just need to shift the ball forward. Quick free kick taken by CJ Egan-O'Reilly, but the referee has stopped to give a yellow card to Alvaro Carreras, who wouldn't retreat 10 yards quick enough. Another card. More paperwork for the referee. So Carreras adds another yellow card to the list. Højbjerg forward. Back to him from Vermeeren. Bypasses him though. Goes back to Bagliardi. And there goes the final whistle. They didn't have time in the end to get it forward, Marseille. And they end up losing this game by 2-1. 2 Kylian Mbappe penalties. But you have to feel for Marseille, who'd taken the lead through Weir. And they did come here and they had as much possession as Real Madrid. And whilst Real Madrid created lots of chances and Geronimo Rulli made lots of saves, Thibaut Courtois was kept busy. It's an excellent away performance for Marseille. They'll feel that they deserve more than the scoreline gives them, especially with Dani Carvajal sent off with 20 minutes to go for a blatant headbutt on Geronimo Rulli. Not quite sure what he was thinking of there. And with Trent Alexander-Arnold limping out of the game as early as the first 10 minutes with a hamstring injury, there are one or two injury concerns in that right back position, as well as suspension concerns for Xabi Alonso in the early stages of the Champions League. But they've picked up 3 points. They've laboured to 3 points. 2 penalties done the trick from Kylian Mbappe. Final score this evening here at the Bernabéu. It's finished Real Madrid 2, Marseille 1. Thank you very much for your company. We'll catch you all again soon. Good night.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.